Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy AAron2420. I am here to introduce a new league that I am co-running with a couple other people, one of which who cannot be here, the other one, introduce yourself now.
What's going on, guys? This is FlameHorizon, and as Aaron said, yes, we are coming at you with a draft league that we have come up with. This is the Banlist Battlers League, is what we are calling it.
Yep, and basically it is an Uber's draft league. For the most part, we banned things like most Arceus forms, Yveltal, Marshadow, Primals, regular Kyogre as well, because it's broken. I don't care what anyone says, that thing would be an S tier right now if Primal Groudon wasn't a thing. But anyway, this isn't about Kyogre because Kyogre is not allowed, so it's irrelevant. But this is about a lot of the other mons that we did allow, and we'll get into those later on in the video. I would like to first start off by letting Flame cover the first aspect of this league. Take it away.
The first aspect is that this is an upload league per se, is that we're preferring uploaders. So you don't have to upload, but say like you bang out the application for this and it's like best application, but you don't upload. And then there's some people who can upload and their application was probably like half as good as yours, but they're still like a decent app. They're probably going to get in more likely than you for the fact that we want to involve as much of the community as possible, and instead of having it just be like, you know, a league between friends like some other leagues do where they just don't upload like the Hive, we involve as much of the community as possible by uploading videos and showing off exactly what this league is like. And your upload will not count if you do this. If you do the first thing, which is if your mic is trash to where your video needs to be muted to watch, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that now because I'm a huge audiophile personally, and with the way things are, if your mic sounds like you're screaming into a toilet bowl, or it sounds like there's 50 blankets in between you and the microphone, there is a really high chance that you're not gonna make it.
Or at the very least, you will not be counted as an upload candidate. And this doesn't mean you need a $200 mic, it just means that you need to be listenable. If I don't want to listen to you because your mic is awful instead of just your voice is awful, then that's going to hold points against you.
The next point is, if there's no commentary over it, it won't count as an upload. There are people who, you know, join an upload league, but then will upload a sped up version of the clip along with background music and then let it fly. I personally have done that a couple times, but 90% of the time I do commentate over my games because it's just a way for you to show off your personality to the community, and it's a way for you to explain what you were doing, why you were doing it, and such. And if you're not able to commentate on the uploaded vid, then it just won't count because we want to make sure that you can upload a good quality content video. The next point we want to cover is you need to have a recording software on your computer in order to record these games. We don't want you to set up your phone on a tripod and record the screen of your DS. We want this to be good quality, as close to like a 1080p video as you can, where it doesn't look like you just like set up your phone and it's like shaky. And like we want it to be crystal clear, like cut down to the wire. We want it to be as close to professional as you can.
Yes, this does not mean you need a capture card or some sort of way to record for yourself. We will find people if need be to do that, but you cannot submit a phone video as if that is how you're going to record your whole season. That does not work, especially as if for your app you're going to show that you're an uploader. You can always just upload a showdown replay for that aspect anyway, so if you really do submit a phone replay, that's pretty sad, to be honest, as you don't even need to submit a Wi-Fi replay for this part of the app.
And as he said, you know, it doesn't need to be a Wi-Fi thing. And if there's something else on your app that is up to our discretion that, you know, we don't like about the app, it may also get counted as a non-upload app.
Yes.
Because there are some things that we might not cover here that we'll see during the application process. And we're like, oh, this person shouldn't be in.
Yeah, for example, I remember when I was reading over D-League apps, there was tons of things that like I could have never guessed people would consider uploading, that if I'd remembered them like right now, I would have added them to this list. It's more so counting towards the non-uploading part versus counting as an uploader. As for example, if let's say your app for the entire time you're recording right outside the alley of a kid's party and you're just hearing a bunch of screaming children the entire time during your upload, then why would I count that as an upload app if I can't even hear you? Or also things such as if, let's say, your video is like really awful dimensions to the point where like I can barely see your screen at all. That's something I didn't cover here, but that's something that could very well be considered as a non-upload app just because of the quality. So anything that would take away from the quality that we didn't mention here will very well be counted in that category. So the next point up I would like to mention is that this is of course a Wi-Fi league. I think Flame and I hinted at a couple other points, but it is going to be a 3DS Wi-Fi league, of course. Main reason being is just, well, one, battle area shutdowns. That's another knock on Showdown leagues. But personally, I prefer the quality of Wi-Fi leagues better. Also because, I mean, we have the generators and recorders between most of us as commissioners. Also, at the very least, we will try and find few other people. And if you are chosen to do that, if you don't somehow get in, one, you'll probably end up at least having a little bit of a more notice if we need a sub. So hint, hint, if you don't get in at first, just become a generator recorder if you can. It will help. Also, because I'm potentially going to maybe even pay our generators and recorders for their services, as I know what it's like being a sole generator for a league. It is not fun, so this will encourage more people to actually put themselves out there to gen and record, as from experience, it is not fun.
So the doc that we have right now that we are going to link down below is our speed tour doc, because over the past few months we have been doing speed tours using the tiers that we have created. And so far they've been a lot of fun and we're really excited for the season. However, the tiers that we have are still subject to change throughout the next month due to the fact that there's still some things we want to test and finalize before we actually start the official draft. Because there are some busted things on here, such as like Deoxys and Deoxys Attack. We are allowing Groudon, Ho-Oh with Regenerator. And then there's a couple things that we're still testing and working out the kinks with, like Mewtwo, Rayquaza, and Arceus Fire and Arceus Grass.
So, there will definitely be some examples of the Speed Tour doc. Well, actually, not examples. There will be the actual Speed Tour doc linked down below, along with the app, of course. And you guys can check that out. It will be updated as we update the tiers. The official league doc will be updated when the actual league starts, which is main reason being why we're not linking that doc. It's pretty much going to be the same doc, just with more to it. But I'm going to link the Speed Tour doc, as we will update that every time that something gets banned, something gets added, something gets moved around. It will be updated there. And obviously there will probably be a little bit of things that will be voted on as the league starts, in terms of like changing points around if anyone has any last second things or potential things they want to maybe ban that are just, in their opinion, too much. We will still be doing that, but at the very least, if you want to keep up during the application process with what is getting tiered where, it will be down below. So some things we are allowing though, of course I'm not sure how much Flame covered, or I can't remember what Flame covered, but some things that are really cool. We allow, of course, things like the Tapu Leles and the Darkrai's you could see in leagues such as ICBA, P4G Next Gen, etc, etc. But we're also allowing a lot of box art legends such as Dialga, Palkia, Giratina. Those are all allowed. Sekar and Reshiram, again, allowed, and they're probably going to stay allowed. Also, some other very, very terrifying mons such as Deoxys Attack and normal forms are being considered for allows. Even in Speed Tours, surprisingly, and we'll make a video covering this later on, more so what has worked well and what hasn't worked well in Speed Tours. But even in Speed Tours, surprisingly, even with like Lele, for example, it's taken up, it's been effective. It hasn't been anywhere in terms of broken necessarily, because it does take up, as of right now, 40 of your points, and that's not even counting like your Z points, which I'll get into later on, or actually Flame will get into those next. But it does take up a lot of your points, and out of your 130 points, that's almost a third of your points essentially that you're putting towards 2 mons. So while it is definitely a very good core, it takes a lot to build around, and with the amount of mons you do need in your draft, it is almost more of a liability. But they may, of course, still be banned, and you will find out by draft day at the very latest if they ended up getting banned or not. But there are a bunch of things that have proven to be not as threatening as you'd think, and we'll get into those again in another video at a later date. So, Flame, speaking of draft rules, would you like to cover those?
Exactly, and the draft rules are as follows. The point limit, as Aaron had mentioned, is 130. We decided that 130 points would be suitable to be able to get a 10 Pokemon to 12 Pokemon draft. Due to the fact that, not only do we want people to have a diverse team, but we also don't want people to draft like super top heavy teams and destroy their draft. So the balance that we found to work out the best was 10 to 12, so the minimum of 10, maximum of 12, with 130 points. And then the Zmon points is you have 25 Zmons. It could go up to 30. We're still debating that. However, it is the same amount of points as the actual Pokemon is. So say Tapu Lele would be 18 of your Z points, then you'd have 7 left. Or Blaziken with Speed Boost would be 22 of your points, then you'd have 3 points left. And also the points aren't intertwined. So you can't... The points pools between your normal Pokemon and your Z Pokemon are different. You can't dip into your points, your Z points pools to draft more Pokemon, and you can't dip into your Pokemon points to draft more Z Pokemon. They are completely separate. So just to kind of balance it out, so that way you're not drafting like a really top-heavy team and then no Zmons, but then you're also not drafting, you know, a bunch of like mid-level Pokemon and then Zmoning a ton of them. It's just a way to balance out the teams as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we don't want anyone saving like 20 points in their draft just so they can Z their Speed Boost Blazikens and their Xerneases. That's not going to be a thing. So, in terms of the same draft, obviously you can Z both of them, but you can't Z them together. So, as of right now, we are looking for a 16-coach league. We currently have 7 coaches, including Flame, myself, and Ash, who is our 3rd commissioner, and then 4 other coaches who we won't reveal at the moment, but their faces you should definitely recognize in the Draft League community. No one that has like a billion subscribers like PewDiePie, but you know, their names, if you play Draft, you probably know of them, or at least know someone who does. So we still have about 9 spaces left as of right now, and they will go to whoever fills out the app, of course, which will be linked in the description below. And obviously, you know, if you join the Discord below as well, you can maybe get to know us, participate in speed tours, and test some of the mons you're considering drafting. And of course, that gets us a better chance to know you, and that might help your app if we know who you are. Or if you're a person, you might just not want to join, so we don't get that bad impression of you. That's always something too. So in terms of the app itself, there's your standard questions like your Discord tag, there's your email address because you don't want people submitting 10 apps. As my last front office app had the same guy submit 20 apps in the same email. I'm not going to do that. So it of course asks for your email, Discord tag, time zone, etc. All the standard stuff that most leagues do. It asks, of course, if you have a 3DS and Ultra Sun and Moon because, you know, it's kind of obvious. In terms of genning recording, you don't need to necessarily be able to gen and record for yourself. But of course, if you have a friend, that's always great to let us know so we know who to contact. Also, if you can't record, that's not going to hurt your chances anymore. In terms of linking replays, again, just 1 to 3 replays, can be Wi-Fi or Showdown. We just need to see how you play. It can even be a video of yours. I guess that's a bonus, but there's a separate question for that as well. But we just need to see how you play. In terms of commitments, again, just how busy you are. If you do upload, that's something, as I said, it's an upload preferred league. How often you upload, that's more so just if you want to fill in that question. It's more so just to gauge if you do upload, and then it will help us figure out how often you upload to see if you're really a true uploader, if you're just willing to upload for this league. It doesn't matter necessarily, but it's more so just to see. It might help in terms of just making sure that you have clearly uploaded before. But if you put in 0 to 1 because you either just stopped uploading for your last couple leagues because they just finished, or if you were just really busy with finals, it won't necessarily hurt your chances, but it's just more so just general information for us to know. Why you should be added, of course, you just gotta sell yourself, and then link a video that showcases you narrating a battle. It could be a video you've already done. You could link a replay from 3 weeks ago that you recorded, as it's just more so just to see us commentating, or see you commentating over a game that you've done, make sure your mic is not trash, and also to make sure that you can at least commentate over a battle. So if you do upload, you do have to put that in. It's not a required question in the app, but if you do upload, your app will not be counted as an upload app unless you submit that box. So that is a fair warning off the bat. And otherwise, we will be looking forward to reading your apps. I'm not sure when they'll close. They'll probably close, I forget the specific day that we scheduled, but it's going to be at some point between June 15th and June 22nd. We will probably cover that on the BBL Twitter, which I will also link down below. I forgot to mention that, actually. Yeah, BBL Twitter will also be linked down below. You should check it out. We will announce within 24 hours when we're closing apps, so obviously that will be important for you guys who are still applying to note. So Otherwise, just make sure you submit your apps, join the Discord because it's a fun time. Even if you don't get in, there's still speed tours that will go on. Even during the league itself, we'll try and hold speed tours. So it's always a fun time to join there. And otherwise, just best of luck to everyone applying. Any last words, Flame?
I just want to say good luck to all of you. And I just can't wait for the season to start. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And also, the next video, BBL related, will go up and it'll be covering things that have worked really well in Speed Tours, things that haven't. We're going to try and get some of our Speed Tour champs on to talk about their experiences with their drafts. So it'll be a fun time. And otherwise, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next BBL related video, or if you're just watching on either of our channels, we will see you guys in the next video on our channels. Peace out.
Take care, you guys.